21 of 30, which is pretty crazy because that means we really don't have a whole lot of days left. We are going to be moving on to the next thing very soon. But today we're going to be reviewing what we've been doing a little bit. A lot of area, a lot of perimeter, a lot of deciding what shape something is. Let's start by looking at this worksheet. So in number 1, I have a quadrilateral, a 4-sided shape, and both of the lengths they give me are labeled as S, and S is 6.2 inches. So what does this tell me about the length of all 4 sides?
They're all the same.
They're all going to be the same. So if all 4 sides are the same, what kind of quadrilateral is this? A square. So for type, I'm going to go ahead and write square in. Now, how would I solve for the area of this square? Remembering that the area tells us how much space the item takes up.
To do base times height.
Yeah, we've got base times height. This is the base of our shape. This is the height of our shape. Both are 6.2. So what am I multiplying together? What 2 numbers?
6.2 times 6.
Yeah, exactly. 6.2 times 6.2. And if you want to write this a little simpler, when you multiply a number by itself, it could also be written as 6.2 squared. Kind of cool because it's a square. So, what is the answer for my area here?
38.44.
38.44. Let's see. 6.2 times 6.2. That's what I got. 38.44. So that is going to be our answer for area. And what are my units when I'm looking at area? It's inches to start.
Square inches.
Yes, square inches. So we write 38.44 inches squared. Inches squared tells us area. Inches by itself is giving us a length or a distance. Got to make sure we write squared if we're talking about area. So how about perimeter now? What would we be doing here to find the perimeter of this shape?
2 times side. 2 times side times base. I don't know how to say it.
Okay, so 2 times, are you saying 2 times side here?
Yeah, but you have to times them, not add them.
Okay, so 2 times, what am I writing?
6.2
Mm-hmm. Okay,
plus 6.2.
perfect, plus 6.2. Perfect. So all we're doing here is we're finding the distance around the square. So if you didn't want to use multiplication, you really could just do 6.2 plus 6.2 plus 6.2 plus 6.2. Because there's 4 sides and they're all the same. That would give us the whole distance. You confused? I see your face.
I'm verified because I'm just this whole section is just through.
Yeah. If you go back and watch some of the videos, I promise it'll really help. And
I mean, I've been watching them. It's just I'm not.
right. Well, don't ever be afraid to ask questions in class because I promise I never mind answering and I never mind explaining again. Always happy to do that. Okay, so our perimeter, once we do that, is what?
24.8.
24.8. You guys get that? Anybody get something different? I think that's what I got. Yeah, that's what I got. 24.8. And what's our units? Inches. Good. We're just measuring the distance, length. So that makes. Okay, number 2 is exactly like number 1. So we'd be doing the same steps. I'll show it this time with different colors to maybe differentiate a little. Let's see. Okay, so how am I gonna find the area of this square?
Did the same.
This subtract, multiply it.
Yes, what are we multiplying?
6.
Yeah.
6 inches.
S equals 6, so I know this side is 6 inches. This side is 6 inches. All those sides are 6 inches. Go ahead and label them. There we go. 6 on every side. So our area is just taking one side or the height of the shape times the base of the shape. So 6 times 6 is?
36.
Good. 36. And we started with inches. What do we need to make sure that we put on the end? Yep. Squared for area. Perfect. Okay. Now perimeter. Remember the perimeter is just measuring this side and this side and this side and this side all together. We're trying to figure out if I were to open this square up and lay all the sides out in a flat, straight, long line, how long would that line be?
24.
24. How'd you get that?
I added all of the 6, the whole square.
Good. 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. Or you could do what? Did anyone do it differently?
6 squared.
6 squared? That would give you the area. That's perfect. What about we're talking about the perimeter now. The distance around.
2 times 6 plus 6.
Perfect. You could do 2 times 6 plus 6. Is there another way to do it?
I did 6 times 4.
You could also do 6 times 4. Because all 4 sides are 6. So if I just take that by times 4, we're going to get all those added together. So any of these will give you the right answer. 24 inches is the perimeter here. And we already said this. This is a square. Good. Any questions about number 2? Okay. Let's look at number 3. Now we have a different type of shape. What's going on in number 3?
Giving us A and H.
Yes, we have an H in the equation now. And we have 2 of our sides labeled. It's A. Sometimes it helps just to see the numbers on the shape, so let's do that. I know this bottom side, the base, is 6.9 inches. I know this side is also A, so it's also 6.9 inches. Do we know any other side lengths?
The other 2 sides?
Yeah.
6.9.
Perfect. They're all going to be 6.9 inches. 6.9 inches. And our height says is 6.2. So 6.2 inches. Okay, got it all in there now. So, first, how do we find the area of this shape?
That's right.
Base times height. This is where a lot of us will make mistakes because we're with squares and rectangles and shapes that have 90-degree angles, you can just do a side times a side. But that's why we want to remember, really, it's the base of the shape times the height of the shape. So our base is the side that touches the bottom, and the height is the distance from the bottom to the top, perpendicular here. It's going to make a 90-degree angle. So 6.9 is the base. And the height is 6.2. So we'll just do area equals 6.9 times 6.2. Everybody agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And what's that going to give us?
42.78.
42.78. That sounds right to me. So 42.78. And what's our units?
Inch squared.
Good. Inches squared. Good, good, good. Now, how do we find the perimeter here?
All around.
All around.
6.9 fourths will added.
Uh-huh.
And then I got 27.6.
Good. Let's see. 57.6. Perfect. Did everybody get that answer?
Yeah.
Good. Good, good, good. And I know I just flashed you the answer on accident, but what kind of shape is this?
Not square.
Not a square.
Whatever that.
Rhombus.
A rhombus. Good. So a square that is, we just call it kind of like a tilted square. This is a fancy version of a parallelogram. It's got all four sides the same. The sides are parallel to each other. This is called a rhombus. That's what we learned about yesterday. Okay. Are we ready for number 4?
Yes.
Here we go.
Kind of one of those spread it out.
One of those.
Yeah.
I don't have a small version of it, but we could get, would probably be really good practice to take a picture of it and copy it down by hand, because when you write it, there's that brain-hand connection. It's going to help you remember it even better. Make yourself a little key. I would actually suggest that to everybody, taking a picture of that area and perimeter chart. If you do that and copy it down, you can use it on your quizzes and tests and stuff. And it's a way to trick yourself into studying a little. I forgot that was even up there. Okay, let's look at number 4 now. What kind of shape is this?
A rhombus.
Also a rhombus. Good. So we're going to be doing the same thing as the last one. Okay. So, how do I find the area?
The area is 6.3.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do it all around.
Oh, so that would be the perimeter.
Oh, sorry. The area is so your times in it.
Yes. So, which two numbers do I multiply?
6.3 and 5.46.
Good.
And you will get 34.398.
Good. 6.3 times 5.46. And that's going to give us, you just said it. I already forgot.
34.398.
Perfect. 34.398. And what's our units?
Inch squared.
Inches square. Good.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's talk about the perimeter. The distance all the way around the shape.
6.3.
6.3, that's our base and our side.
25.2.
Okay, so how'd you get 25.2?
I added all the sides around.
So you did 6.3 plus 6.3 plus 6.3 plus 6.3?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. What else could you do? Anybody know?
Square. Was it square? Oh,
If we square it, that would be multiplying it by itself. How many times did you add it together?
4.
4. So whenever you multiply a number, it's the same thing as repeated addition. So if I take 6.3 plus 6.3 plus 6.3 plus 6.3, I really just did 6.3 4 times, or 4 times 6.3. So we could just do 6.3 times 4, like that. And that'll get you your same answer. You said 25.2?
Yes.
Awesome. 25.2 inches. Okay.
So I have a question on that one.
Sure.
I got 23.52.
Oh,
Did you use the height instead of the side?
I did 6.3 times 5.46.
Okay, so that's why. So whenever you're doing perimeter, we're only looking at the values that are on the very outside edge of the shape. The height is actually inside the shape. That's what we use for area. So what are you looking
The
at on your
area,
paper?
right? So the side is the same as the height.
So our side is measured with A. So 6.3, this is an A, 6.3, 6.3, 6.3, and our height is here, 5.46.
So maybe I wrote it down like I put 2 times 6.3 plus 5.16. Maybe I
So-
just got the math wrong.
That's your issue when you're doing the perimeter is you're using 5.46. You don't want to use that because this is the height. Remember, the perimeter is like the fence around. Yes, base side. Don't ever use the height unless the height is one of the side lengths. Yes. So if you do that, you should get the same answer. Let's look at number 5. Now we have a different shape. What kind of shape is this?
Parallelogram.
Parallelogram. Very good. So parallelograms are these quadrilaterals, these four-sided shapes where we have two sides parallel to each other here, and the other two sides are parallel to each other here. And we find the area the exact same way we do with a rhombus. We're just taking the base times the height. So in this parallelogram, which letter represents the base?
The base is C, right?
C,
Which is
yes,
9.2.
9.2, that's our base. So area equals base times height, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my base, 9.2, times, what's my height?
4.6.
4.6.
Perfect, 4.6. And what is that gonna give us?
42.32 inches square.
Beautiful, 42.32 inches squared. Awesome. Okay. Now let's look at the perimeter. So which of these 3 letters are we not going to use for perimeter? H. We're not going to use the height for perimeter. We're only using side lengths. So we've got 2 different sets of equal sides here. I've got my A sides. They're both 4.81. And I've got my C sides. These are both 9.2. There's a few ways we could find the total distance around the shape. Would anybody like to share how they did it?
I added both sides of A and both sides of C.
Perfect. So 4.81 plus 4.81 plus 9.2 plus 9.2.
Yep.
That works great. Absolutely. Could also do what? Does anyone do it differently?
2 times 4.81 plus 9.2.
Good. We could also use the perimeter formula. And I'm gonna write it all in colors here. Remember, we're just taking both of those sides times 2. So we could just rearrange that and add them together first and then multiply that whole number by 2. And what does that give us for our perimeter?
28.02.
Perfect. 28.02 inches. And we said that this is a parallelogram. Parallelogram. Parallelogram.
Too long.
Yes, one, is it two R's?
No, she said too long.
Oh, it is too long. Thought you were correcting me. I always get nervous when I write that word, because I feel like I'm never spelling right. Geometry's got
Give me
some
the long.
crazy words.
Mhm.
Okay. Just a couple more. Good practice today. All right, let's look at number 6.
Number 6.
Okay. So,
The parallelogram.
another parallelogram, exactly. I'll go ahead and write that in so I don't forget. Guess you could abbreviate this and you could write like parallel lines symbol, say ogram. I would take that. I don't know if that's any quicker, but whatever. Okay, how are we gonna find the area of this parallelogram?
It's 5.66.
What is it?
You have to do 9 times 5.3.
Okay, so how did you know to use 9 instead of 5.66?
That's the base.
It's the base. We're always going to be using the number on the bottom. The bottom is the base and the height. So C times H, or 9 times 5.66. And that's going to give us what?
50.94.
50.94?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me double check because my answer sheet says something different.
I got 47.7.
Okay, that's what I think I got too. Let me double check.
What did I do?
So 9. Oh, I wrote 5.66,
Oh.
and that's, let's see, CH.
Okay.
Oh, that's wrong.
That's why.
Oh,
So-
shoot.
9 times 5.3.
I got 47.7.
7, yeah.
9 times 5 point. I swear. 47.7. Okay, awesome. And what's our units again?
Inches squared.
Perfect. 47.7 inches squared. Now, how about the perimeter? Which values do we use?
2 times 5.3 times that.
Okay,
Plus that.
so we're using H.
Yeah.
No.
So perimeter is outside the shape.
Which
Our
is,
H is inside.
yeah, so you don't use H.
Yeah, we don't want to use H.
So we're doing 5.66 on both sides of
Yeah, we've got two
A.
sides that are 5.66.
and 2 sides that are not.
Good, and 2 sides that are 9. Now, this one, it's like they tried to trick you because those numbers are so similar. Even I mixed it up. So, no big deal. We're learning.
29.32.
Okay, good deal. I'm gonna write that equation out real quick. So we did C times 2, so 9 times 2. And 5.66 times 2. And 9. And you said, did you get 29.32? Perfect. Did everybody else get that? 29.32?
Yeah.
Perfect. 9.32 inches. Very good. Okay, we're down to the final 3.
What was the answer?
Oh, sorry. Here. It's 29.32 inches.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Ready for 7? Here we go. Now, we've got another one of these shapes. Another parallelogram, yes. So, let's like that. Parallelogram. Which two values are we using for area?
The base,
Which is what letter?
C,
Good. C times,
4.7.
yeah, 4.7 height. So 8.6 times 4.7 is
40.42
good. 40.42
inches squared.
inches squared. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Now, which values are we using for perimeter?
All around.
All around. So, which letters?
A and C.
Good. A and C. So 5.07 is being used twice, and 8.6 is twice. 6, 7. Together and multiplying by 2.
27.3.
27.34.
Mm-hmm.
So double check too. 5.07 plus 8.6 times 2. 27.34, is that what you said? Perfect. Everybody else get that too? 27.34 inches. All right, last two. No, wait. What are my minutes from?
Is this a rectangle?
It is a rectangle, yes. So how'd you know it was a rectangle?
Because two sides are two sides are the same and two sides are not.
Yes, yes. So we just have two pairs of equal length sides. Could mark it like this if we were asked to mark it. My opposite sides are congruent. And we also know it's a rectangle because of these angles. It doesn't tell us they're 90 degrees, but we can sort of assume here since there's no height given. So we've got W and L. That stands for length and width, like thickness. So to find area of a rectangle, what do we do?
And the width is 5.3.
Mm-hmm.
Times
Yeah.
8.
Times 8.
Perfect. Length times width makes our area 5.3 times 8. What did you get for that?
42.4.
Good. That's what I got too. 42.4 inches squared. And what do we do to find perimeter? Add it up. Add them all up. Only got two side options to pick from. So I'm going to do 2 times 8 plus 5.3. Since I'm taking both of these numbers twice.
26.6.
6.6. Perfect. And what's our units again?
Inch.
Inch. 26.6 inches. Okay. We are almost done. To the last one. Reach it over now.
Rectangle.
Another rectangle. Perfect. Okay, so how do we find area of a rectangle?
7 times 4.1.
Good. 7 times 4.1, which is
28.7.
28.7. 28.7 inches squared. And perimeter,
22.2.
22.2. We just add them all together.
Mm-hmm.
2 times 7 plus 4.1. 7 plus 4.1 times 22.2. Is that what you said?
22.2.
Yes. Okay. That's what I got too. Good. I thought you said a different number for some reason. 22.2 inches. Okay. That was a lot of practice, guys. How do you guys feel about being able to find the area and the perimeter? Feeling okay about it?
Yeah, can I get like a extra
I need
one?
about 8 extras to the.
I'll have to find some. I don't have any right in this moment, but I'm sure I can look for some and find them for you. So let's see. Today we really didn't do any new notes with first period. And I'm wanting to keep you guys in the same line, and it's already about 3 anyway. So we only have, well, I guess we do have 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 30 minutes. That's a little bit of time. Let's learn one little thing. You can catch them up. Come on. One little thing. So, this is what I'm going to have you do. I would like for you to get your notebook out, and we're going to learn one new formula for area.
That's my triangle.
Oh, I hate when I do that. And you'll have time. I'm going to start by titling my page.
You know the IXL thing that I think you emailed it.
Yes.
Do you just want us to do that whenever?
So I'm not grading it. It's just for extra practice. Yes. So you're welcome to get on, and that's probably what I ought to tell the girls is that if they go on IXL, they'll have all the practice problems they want in the world. So geometry. This is unit 3. And we're gonna throw it back to triangles. And say 21. I'm not gonna put a page number on here because this is gonna be the only little page notes that we do today. So we have learned how to find the area of a parallelogram. We have learned how to find the area of a rectangle, of a square, of as long as we have parallel sides in our quadrilateral, we know how to find the area.
It's gonna be a triangle now, isn't it?
Yeah. It is gonna be a triangle, just so let's draw a triangle. Now this for now, let's see. I wanna make
Got yours.
Oh, yes, I have. Thank you. We're gonna start with a right triangle, and I'll give you some measurements. Let's make the side here 3 inches. And then let's make this side here, also make it 3 inches. And then let's see how long that would make this. About 4 1/4. So we just drew a triangle. A right triangle.
Still my journal.
Oh, look at that. Okay. And we're gonna draw a little square in there, and I'll pause it, let you guys get caught up for a minute. Okay, and we are gonna say that, first of all, this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. We don't need to know that right now, though. We are going to call this side length 5, and since they're the same, this one will also be 5 inches. I guess we could have done 3 and made it accurate, but I just chose 5, I don't know why. Okay, so what if this was a square? Let's just pretend. I'm gonna draw the imaginary other part of the square if we needed a square. So if I wanted to find the area of a square, it'd be base times height, right? We know that. What do you think we would do to find the area of this triangle?
Five.
We would divide by what?
2.
By 2. Triangles are half of squares. That's really it. The area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So you can take it times 1/2, or you could write it as base times height divided by 2. Both will give you the exact same answer. So let's find the area of the triangle now. So what's our base and what's our height?
5 and 5.
5 and 5. So 5 times 5, and then we'll divide that by 2. And what's 5 times 5? 10. Oh, 5 plus 5 is
Oh.
10.
25.
25. You're okay. Promise you are not the only one to make that mistake. Now we just need to find 25 divided by 2. And what is that?
Like 5.
Perfect. 12.5. And it's still, I didn't give myself quite enough room, but it'll still be inches squared. 12.5 inches squared. There you go. Now, how would we find the perimeter? I only have 2 side lengths.
Is the hypotenuse the same?
The hypotenuse is going to be the same. So bring it back to last unit. This is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. You guys remember how to find that missing length here? If you might need to look back in your notes, you're welcome to do that. But remember, in a 45, 45, 90 triangle, our 2 legs of the triangle, the 2 sides, are represented with X.
2 times.
So is this 2X? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So that would be for a 30, 60, 90 triangle. 45, 45, 90 is going to be X
That's
something.
radical.
Radical, is it radical 2?
Yeah.
Or is it radical 3? I don't remember.
2.
2. X radical 2. Okay. So we need to find that missing side length. Yes.
Is it on the 7.07?
Let me see. I think it is. So we know that X is 5. So we're just going to do 5 times. Second. That's 2. This. And yep, 7.07. That's going to be the missing side length. So how do we find the perimeter now?
Add them.
Add them. So perimeter, instead of having 4 things to add together, we just have 3 this time because there's only 3 sides. And 5 plus 5 plus 7.07. 10 plus 7.07. So our perimeter is
17.07.
perfect, 17.07 inches. Beautiful, guys. Good job. Very good job. Okay, so there's a little sneak peek into the triangles, and we will do more with this next time, but there is no exit ticket today. I'm gonna give y'all a little break. And that is it. That's our lesson for today. Just a little review of area and perimeter, and then looking at these triangle areas and perimeters. So we will be doing more of this tomorrow. Pretty soon we're gonna wrap up Unit 3 and move on to the end. We only have 2 weeks left. Crazy. So crazy. All right. That is all. I'm gonna end that recording, get it uploaded, and y'all are free to stay, but you're also free to go.